Sir, do you think the chances are good for working out an understanding?
Well, I'm very hopeful because I think that it means not only a great deal to all the rest of the world. So I'm hopeful that the solutions will be worked out to a rather complicated and difficult situation.
Sir, do you have any comment on Senator Goldwater's statements recently about our defenses?
Now, I thought that Secretary McNamara took care of that quite adequately. Would you want that? Mr. Ambassador? My wife and I are looking forward to our trip to Japan. We greatly enjoyed our visit there just about 2 years ago. And we're anxious to renew old acquaintances. I'm very anxious also on behalf of President Johnson to visit with President Sukarno of Indonesia, who I also met 2 years ago. And I hope out of this trip that we can renew the strong bond of friendship that exists between the American people, the people of Japan, and the people of Indonesia.
Is it your hope, Mr. Attorney General, to help work out the problems between Indonesia and Malaysia during this trip in your talks with Sukarno?
Those problems really must be worked out by the governments and the peoples of those two countries. It is my hope that I will be able to stress President Johnson's and this government's concern with the failure of what would occur if there would be a failure to work out solutions to the problems that exist at the present time, and how concerned this government and the American people would be if a solution is not found.
Sir, what are those problems?
Well, they're complicated problems, but basically a failure between the governments of Malaysia and Indonesia to understand some of the difficulties that exist in the formation of the new independent country of Malaysia and the disagreements that exist between the two of them.
You'll go on to Manila, perhaps Kuala Lumpur.
Well, I think that would be decided later on by the State Department and by President Johnson.
Specifically, what are your instructions from the President, Mr. Attorney General?
Well, I couldn't go into that in any greater detail than I have today.
Can you tell us, sir, what your political plans are?
Well, my plans are to get out to Japan and get back. That's all.
Will you discuss the foreign aid bill with Mr. Sukarno?
I won't go into it in any more detail than I have already.
The foreign aid bill, have you gone into that?
Well, I won't go into what I'm going to discuss in any greater detail than I have already today.
Mr. Attorney General, there's been concern in Indonesia about the operations of the 7th Fleet in the Indian Ocean. Do you expect to talk about that with Mr. Sukarno?
I think I'd have to give the same answer that I've just given. I won't go into it in any more detail.
Do you anticipate discussions with Prime Minister Ikeda of Japan?
Well, if I see Prime Minister Ikeda, it would be a courtesy visit.
With Prime Minister Macapagal of the Philippines?
Well, as I said, I think that will be decided by President Johnson and the State Department.
What about the students at Waseda University?
Well, maybe I'll see some of them. I hope so.